Thanks. John Lott wrote a interesting op-ed. John Lott, he's a gun advocate, gun ownership advocate. He wrote the best-selling book, More Guns, Less Crime. And he's done tremendous work as far as research showing that when communities allow more people, law-abiding citizens, to carry guns, gun crime actually goes down. But he wrote this op-ed not about guns, but about this Washington Post front page story about these law professors that are opposed to Jeff Sessions' nomination as Attorney General. And here's the deal. Jeff Sessions, Donald Trump's nominee for Attorney General. Jeff Sessions is a born-again evangelical Christian, strongly pro-life, solid conservative from Alabama. And it's great that this is who Donald Trump wants to be as Attorney General. So the Washington Post headline front page about these over 1,000 law professors nationwide who have signed a letter opposing Jeff Sessions' nomination as Attorney General. It's actually 1,424 law professors from 180 law schools in 49 different states that say that they oppose Jeff Sessions for Attorney General of the United States. And these are law professors. Now, when you look at that on the surface, don't you get the sense of, well, that sounds pretty credible. I mean, my goodness, 1,424 law professors from 180 law schools around the country saying that in their legal opinion, Jeff Sessions should not be Attorney General of the United States? Now, how many times have I told you folks, you always have to be wondering, what is the media leaving out? What's the rest of the story? What are they not telling you that kind of changes the context of this? This is what John Lott does in this piece of his. Because here's what he points out that the Washington Post didn't bother to tell you. Yeah, you had 1,424 law professors from around the country in law schools, but there are over 17,000 law professors in America, and of that 17,000, the overwhelming majority of them, as a matter of fact, 82% of them self-identify as Democrats. 82% of the over 17,000 law professors are Democrats. So what you have is a pool of 17,000 overwhelmingly Democrat law professors. And all the anti-Jeff Sessions people could come up with was 1,400 of them that were willing to say, yeah, we don't think he's qualified. 1,400 out of 17,000 is not a big number, folks. What that means, as John Lott points out, is that only 8.3%, only 8.3% of the faculty members of the 17,000 law professors even signed this, but it gets worse. With 82% of law professors identifying as Democrats, that means that only 10% of the Democrat professors were willing to sign the letter. So of all the liberal Democrat law professors in America, of the 16,000 liberal law professors in America, or the 14,000 or so, 90% of them weren't even willing to sign a letter saying, yeah, I don't think that Jeff Sessions should be Attorney General. 90% of the liberal Democrat law professors said, no, I can't put my name to that, saying that he's not qualified. Because let's face it, Jeff Sessions, he was the Attorney General for the state of Alabama. Okay, he knows what it means to be an Attorney General. He was a United States attorney as well. Jeff Sessions is absolutely qualified. It's these liberal law professors that can't stand that he's a conservative, born-again evangelical Christian. So they say, oh, he can't be qualified. He's not right for women. He's not right for the LGBT community. He's not right for race. He's not right for, all that kind of stuff. So they do everything they can to smear him. So I want you to understand, folks, when you see headlines like this, when you get the rest of the information, do you see how it's not so impressive anymore that the opposition to Jeff Sessions? But without all that information, and all you have to go by is the Washington Post story, Notice how with limited information it can look like Jeff Sessions, maybe he's really not qualified. More than 1,400 law school professors nationwide opposed Jeff Sessions' nomination as Attorney General. And from 180 law schools in 49 different states. See how that sounds, folks? Till you get the rest of the story and you go, wait a minute. If there's like over 14,000 liberal Democrat law professors, 90% of them weren't even willing to sign this letter. So, since the law professors in America are overwhelmingly 82% liberal Democrat, and that's the ones that identify as Democrat, how many others are just like, oh, I'm not going to identify, or are independents or whatever, and you know that they're liberal Democrats? Something to keep in mind. Okay, next, the latest in the hate parade that comes from the left. Oh, it's getting worse and worse and worse. And kudos to Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz won a social media battle with a liberal website, Deadspin. Oh, this is hilarious. Wait until you hear this next. You're on the Bob Duco Show.